Welcome to Real Talk Live with Arnett D. Love. And I wanted to make sure that I came to you on this Sunday at some time of this day. I have had a very, very busy week, a very busy month actually, but I want to make sure that I touch bases with my loved ones who are you. I wanted to talk today about knowing when to ignore. We always, most of us who want to do right, we always talk about we got to be the bigger person, we got to be the bigger person. But sometimes being the bigger person doesn't work. Let me see if I can get this, so y'all can see me better. Sometimes being the bigger person doesn't work. Sometimes you have to shut the people down, shut individuals down right when it happens, because what tends to transpire is it gets worse. It gets worse and worse and worse if you let certain things by. And we don't have to always be rude when we're trying to get our point across, when we're trying to gain that respect that we're due. You don't have to be rude, but you have to let a person know that this is not how you're going to handle me. If you feel that you need to handle me this way, we don't need to talk. We don't need to be interacting. And that's how you do certain things. Sometimes being silent is not enough. But that's my preference. I like to ignore. I like to, you do something that I know that you should know better, I like to just not even engage with you. Especially like on Facebook, if you do something that you know you shouldn't do or say something, I just ignore you. A lot of people be like, why you don't delete people or unfriend? I don't have to. I want you to see all my blessings. I want you to do what you do best, and that is to be nosy on my page. I want you to see everything that God is blessing me with, or should I say rewarding me with, for being obedient, for not coming off like some kind of angry woman, This thing is not easy to put non-factors in this category. It's not easy because we always want to pop off on somebody. We always want to get them straight and let them know that, hey, I wasn't always in this place, and I used to do this and used to do that. But it's not even necessary. I just want to, put that out there in the atmosphere. It's not necessary for us to let people know what we used to do, because most of us have moved on from that place, and we're not going to keep going back. We don't want anybody else taking us back to the time that we prayed to get away from, so we don't need to take ourselves back to the time that we prayed to get away from, if you understand what I'm saying. So we're going to continue to be the bigger person, and we're going to continue to know when being silent or ignoring is not enough. We have to make sure that we put people in their place when needed, but not unnecessarily. We don't need to be arguing. We're getting older, and I'm talking to the older crowd and the younger crowd too. But let me tell you, if you can max this in your 20s, baby, you have done something. If you know how to get rid of people or your issues or your problem people in your 20s, you have done something, because most of us ready to pop off and fight and get cases. And then, listen, and these days, cases coming quicker than they came in the 90s. I'm going to tell y'all right now. I did law enforcement for over 15 years. Cases come quicker now. So we don't want that kind of trouble, right? So what we want to do, we always want to ignore the things that we can and address the things that needs to be addressed, and let people know that there's a certain way that I am going to allow you to treat me. There is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with telling people how they're going to treat you, or they can move on from your life. A lot of us are afraid to not have friends. Don't be afraid to not have friends, because a lot of those friends that you're trying to have, they're not worth your time. They're not worth your time. Understand, there's a dog that brings a bone, carries a bone. Meaning, for those who don't know that saying, if somebody comes to you talking about somebody, they're going to they're going to talk about you to somebody else. Let me say that again. If someone comes to you talking about somebody, they're going to talk about you to someone else. I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, that is what's going to happen. Now, there are exceptions where you have true friends, where you can vent to one another. But the best thing to do is go ahead and vent, state the facts, and keep your gossiping to a minimum. We don't want to be out here talking about each other, putting each other down, dragging each other. We want to uplift, even in your absence. Even in the absence, uplift your enemies. Pray for them. to do is increase your blessings. That's what you're going to do. Pray for your enemies. And I say this all the time, and it took me a while to understand it. And I still have some enemies. I do have enemies too. I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I have people that I don't want. There are people out there that if y'all just don't know, that doggone bottle of water or that bucket of water, I'll be dragging it slowly, if you know what I'm saying. Because I have some people that have really touched me the wrong way, that have really rubbed me the wrong way. But eventually I'll get the water to them. I'll get the water to them if they was on fire. But I'm just saying, we have to pray for our enemies. So I understand when you think that you can't stand somebody. I understand when you think that you actually hate somebody, which is such a strong word, or dislike very much. Let's use that one. I understand all of that, but we still have to pray for the best in order to release ourselves from that negativity, from that bad vibe. We want our blessings. We want our blessings. So we have to know when to ignore a lot of stuff, and it's difficult to ignore, and it's even more difficult to forgive people who never ask you for your forgiveness, who never admit to doing you wrong, who never say, I'm sorry. I mean, it's difficult, but we have to do it. In order to live a more positive life, we have to do it. We have to ignore the things that we think should be done right. We have to ignore the fact that I wouldn't do that to somebody, or I expect them to treat me the way that I treat them. Listen, people are not going to always treat us the way that we desire or the way that we would treat them. It's not going to happen. We have to get used to that and accept it and keep on moving. So I'm asking you right now, for everybody who's listening to this, remember that everything doesn't have to be addressed. Everything doesn't have to be addressed. And like I always say, if you listen to my videos, if you do something, let me put it the correct way. If I've done something to you, it's because you did something to me first. I'm telling you, because I am a true Sagittarius. I don't care about much of anything, messy stuff. I really don't. And so if I can't deal with you, I'm telling you, it's because you rubbed me the entire wrong way. And so because I know that, I try to put my mindset in a place where I am in a forgiving place, okay? And so, like I said, when people don't even ask you to forgive them, I put my mindset in, I'm going to forgive this one because this person is a little ignorant. Ignorant is not a bad word. Ignorant means that you don't know. This person doesn't know. I've had people tag me in certain posts, and really it was insulting. But I didn't take it to heart. I didn't go up there saying, why would you tag me in this and what is this supposed to mean? No, I just said this person is ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Meaning this person doesn't know that this is not correct. I give people the benefit of the doubt because I don't want to think harshly about somebody, and I don't want to believe that people actually do certain things to others intentionally. I want to believe that they're not aware of their actions at the time and they don't see how this could be offensive. And that's how I move. And when you move like that, you can ignore a lot of stuff. And I sat down with some ladies today and I told them, I said, it gets hard to try to ignore everything. But that is something that we must intentionally do. We have to ignore something until you can't ignore, because I don't know about y'all, but I have been, let me tell you something, 12 months ago I did a program, and this person came to me and said, can I speak to you about this, blah, 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 and I was like, sure, I'm real, nice, happy-go-lucky filled, with just happiness, and my spirit is up, and they came and just tried to tear me down, right, to the point where, and this was an older person, so I had to show the respect that was really not due, but actually due because of their age. And so I got to a point where I said, listen, just give me what you want to give me so I can go. I didn't go off or nothing like that. So 12 months later, I did the same program, and this individual tried it again. But before I allowed him to get me to a place where I knew that I was going to be disrespectful, I told him right off the rip, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And this was like right after my uncle was buried, and I already knew that I had some HELL up in me because I was still angry. And yes, I was angry because my uncle was gone. That's natural, okay? And so I was still angry, and I did not want to take my anger out on this man because I knew he was coming at me negatively. And so I told him I don't want to hear it. Don't talk to me. Leave me alone. And he was still trying. Well, Arnett, I just want to say, don't say nothing to me. Please leave me alone. You see, so sometimes you got to shut it down. Because if a person get away with something, which I allowed him to get away with it 12 months ago, they would try it again, so he thought he was going to repeat it 12 months later. But what he didn't know, 12 months ago, you had the wrong person. It was just the right time. So this time, I was like, there will be no repetition of what you did 12 months ago, because I will not allow these other people to see me act a total plum fool up in here. You see what I'm saying? Because that is what people like to see, us acting a plum fool. You understand? Especially women and black women. You know, and that angry black woman syndrome, excuse me, you weren't going to see that from me. You know, and so somebody came up to me because they heard me tell him to leave me alone, and they was like, I am so glad you handled that way. That's how it was supposed to be handled. That is exactly what he was like, I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly. That's how you handle that. And because he was known for doing that to people, and sometimes we have to shut it down. Sometimes you can't ignore it, but there's a way to do it. Don't get out there and start acting ignorant and belligerent and showing that you can do this and you used to do that. That is not how we do things now. We do things politely, with respect and dignity, so we can hold our heads up afterwards and walk away and say, I did that. That's when you say, I did that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't curse nobody out because you know you can curse. Come on now, somebody. You didn't curse anybody out. You didn't have to put your hands on anybody. You used the power of the tongue, what we call in law enforcement verbal judo. You used the power of the tongue to handle the situation that you could not be silent with. That's what we have to remember. There are some things you just cannot be silent with because people will run all over you if you do that. Okay? And let me tell you this as well. You're going to feel some kind of way when people come at you. I mean, immediately you're going to have, sometimes you're going to be angry. Sometimes you're going to not even care about it. You're going to be like that. So-and-so, whatever you call people, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, if y'all don't know by now, I do have my issues. But, and I don't deny it. But whatever you call them, you're going to say, that's so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. I ain't thinking about them, right? And then you may feel upset and want to say something. That's when you got to give yourself a couple of hours. Give yourself a couple of hours to get over whatever it is they did to you. Whatever it is that they offended you with, give yourself a couple of hours. And that way, you can think about what you're going to do before you do it. Okay? So that's how I handle certain things. And then when you come back in a couple of hours, you'll realize it won't even worth a reply, a response, a comment. It wasn't worth anything. Okay? I'm telling you, I have been upset recently, within the past 12 months, to where I went back to when I was younger, when I used to go up to bullies and stuff like that. And honey, I stood toe-to-toe, eye to eye, waiting for them to say the wrong thing. Yes, I've been there, so I understand. I don't talk about anything I haven't experienced. You understand? I have been there at this age in my 50s where I was ready to go to blows because why? Because somebody felt like they want to be bothering me, and I don't bother anybody. And it wasn't anybody but the Lord that saved me and saved them. I'm telling you that now, because we have to understand He will protect us, and He said He would, and He'll protect us, and He will keep us from doing stupid things. But that's only when we have a relationship with Him. And I'm not here to preach today. I'm just saying your relationship with Him has to be strong. You know what I'm saying? Let me put it in this perspective. y'all remember back in the days where the dealership used to have you could go in there and wheel and deal with them before they said, no, this is the price, we don't negotiate anymore. Okay, well, back in the day, we used to negotiate with the dealer, okay? So, mainly, if he was your friend, your buddy, you can get in there and negotiate. If they knew you, you can get in there and get you a lower price because they going to take a cut to help their friend out. But if a person didn't know you, they really won't try to negotiate with you. This is the price. This is what we want for it, and blah 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 blah. Well, that's the same with your relationship with God. When He don't know you, there's no real I'm gonna look out for you type of thing. I'm telling y'all what I know. You have to have a relationship with Him in order for Him to take care of you. If you out there sinning and whatnot, God turns away from sin. How can He protect you if you're sinning? And sinning could be anything. Y'all know that. That gossiping, that talking, smack, that anything. Sinning is anything. There is no sin larger than the other. I know we like to act like it is, but it's not. So we had to connect. We had to keep our relationship with Him tight. And I'm telling you, that's when you get protected. I'm telling you, because God know He be watching out for me. You know how they say He look out for babies and fools. I ain't no baby, and sometimes I can be real foolish. And so I know that I'm protected, and I'm so grateful for that. So I want to encourage you, and I'm going to say whoever you serve. Y'all know who I serve. But whoever you serve, study. Show yourself approved, Find out what it is you're supposed to be doing, because whoever you serve, your instructions are supposed to be in your book. Mine is the Bible. I call that my sword. I tell everybody that's my sword. I walk with my sword. And so I know that I'm protected because God has obviously shown me I done protected you one more time. Because I'm telling you, had that person been up there when the first rumor started, had that person went up there when I went up to find her the first time, we probably been rolling down them stairs. You see what I'm saying? But I thank God for the protection and for the mindset of love. This is not what you're supposed to do. And if I don't share this with others, y'all will sit there and think that, oh, love just be talking, she be talking. No, I'm talking from transparency aspect. I'm talking from experience. I'm telling you that I understand when you get angry at work. I understand when people try to bully you. I understand when your supervisors disrespect you because they're in a leadership position. But I want you to understand that all supervisors aren't really leaders. Some of them are just bosses. They're just in charge. They don't know how to be leaders. So don't take it to heart. Do what you can to get your job done and get out of Dodge. That's what you do, okay? Don't talk smack. Don't try to prove a point that they can't tell you what to do, because at that point, they can. When you feel like you need something else, you go and create you something else. Everybody, a lot of people joke on me about my job, what I do for. I am retired, and God blessed me in that area. I am retired, so my businesses, I can work my businesses at my leisure. Okay, I'm not sitting here trying to breathe. But when you are depending on your business, and that's all you have, you want to work as hard as you can for yourself, as if you're trying to keep your head above water, as if you're trying to get your last breath, and you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing to make a life for yourself. And it can be done. It's not going to be done overnight, but you can do it on your own. And we have to stop being afraid to step out of the boat. Sometimes we have to step out on faith. If we have a problem working for other people, sometimes we have to step out on faith so we can work for ourselves. A lot of people like, no, why you don't go work for nobody? Why? Why? I'm fine right now. When I'm not fine anymore, I'll find something else to do. But I'm fine. I'm a real estate agent. If I get real hungry, I'm going to sell some houses. You see what I'm saying? Always have something in your pocket. Always have something back there. I started off, first of all, I was selling Amway at one time. I was selling Mary Kay. I sold Avon. I sold a few things, y'all. I sold a few things so that I would have independent business for myself. If you need a little extra, do something like that. I do Uber. What do I do? No, I do DoorDash. And so if I need get a little stuck and need some gas money, I jump in my car and go make me about $50. You know what I'm saying? There's no shame in making coins. There's no shame in making coins. Understand me. A person that's hungry don't have a problem working at McDonald's and Rally's. Okay, a person that got to provide for their kids don't have a problem going to work at the grocery store. You understand what I'm saying? That's where the respect comes in. The disrespect comes in when you out here trying to do something legal, hustle somebody, and scam folks. There is nothing wrong with a legitimate employment, okay? So you do what you have to do, and don't worry about who trying to judge you and what people got to say about what you doing. Man, you think, let me tell y'all something. I go in my Sunday best in DoorDash. Do you hear me? My Sunday best, honey. I be dressed up in my suit, or I have my dress on. I might put on some flat shoes or whatever, but people be looking at me like, duh. I went to one lady's house the other day. I forgot what I had on. And that lady was like, "You are gorgeous." Yeah. And I need my coins. You know what I'm saying? I don't put a job is a job. If it's bringing me money, I'm gonna do it. And guess what? I don't have no boss. I don't have nobody saying what time you clocking in. If I don't feel like doing it anymore, which I only really do 2 to 3 hours of DoorDash, that's all I can stand, a day at a time. And so I go and I do my thing and I get my little coin, $60 or whatever, in 3 hours. And I'm good. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to give me something to eat. I ain't got to touch my money that I got over here saved up for just in case. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I don't have to touch my money over here. I got these little $60 I made from DoorDash in 3 hours. Y'all understand? And I dressed up. I look real nice, and people, give me tips. I go and get in my car, and they send me extra tips. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't go to do my DoorDash in a rag on my head and a T-shirt and stuff like that. I be looking nice, y'all. I fix my face up and everything because that's what I do to make my coins. And when you do something, you do it to the best of your ability. It don't matter if you dump in the trash. It don't matter if you sweep in the street. You do it to the best of your ability, and you let people talk. Let people talk. You see what I'm saying? Because people don't know your story. They don't know what you're going through. I knew this lady. She worked hard. She was a deputy sheriff, but she did outside job to put her son through college so that him nor her would have any bills after he finished. And guess what? She did it. She did it. She put him through college, and she paid for it, doing extra jobs outside of what she was making at the jail. So listen. Do not let anybody make you feel ashamed of what you have to do. It's survival mode. Y'all understand what I'm saying? We're in survival mode. We always know how to survive. You just got to get out there and do it. While y'all's at home, when it's cold, I'm out here dashing, making my little $100. You understand? And I told you, I'm only working 2 to 3 hours at a time. Sometimes people get low $25 on top of their tip. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how to talk to. I come there, hey, how you doing? Because I'm not struggling. I just like to work, make my little coins. And I'm enjoy your food. I cook the food. Enjoy now. Okay, baby. That's how I do. So if you see Arnett coming DoorDash, y'all get ready. So we about to conversate. And that's what I do. And I don't care what people say. I learned to ignore what people think about what Arnett doing because it's my business. It's Love's business. What I do, I don't want to hear your tip when I bring you them doggone donuts. Put them $10, $15 on top of it. There was one of my customers, y'all, up there that I go to her house and she put my good tip up there. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to respond to everything, and I'm going to let you go in a few. You don't have to respond to everything. We don't have to be negative just because people are being negative to us, okay? Listen, y'all just don't know. If I was a weak woman, I would probably be crying every night. I would probably be crying every night because I get so many people that hate on me, people that I've never done stuff to, that listen to other folks. When I tell you people was against me in 2020, and they had no idea what my story was, no idea, but they went on what they were told. When I tell you, I have never felt so alone in my life. But guess what? I had a friend, and I knew a man. And that's how I held on. Plus, with my upbringing, because my mother taught me that I didn't need friends. Now, don't teach your kids that. That's not a good thing. It worked for me, but don't do that. But my mother had prepared me for such a time as that. You understand what I'm saying? And then I had to make my own friends and new relationships. Let me put it that way. New relationships with old associates. I had to do that. Y'all remember I ran for election in 2020. That's when the walls came down. 2022, same thing, but I got a little better. Then 2024, God blessed me to win that election. And let me tell you something. When I won the election, right? Yeah, well, when I was running, you had the people that had turned against me for no reason at all talking about, because they didn't even know me. But you're talking about my strategy for winning, right? But you won't try to help me win. And anybody that knew me knew I was qualified to be on the school board, okay? Knew that I wasn't a dummy, okay? I'm saying, I don't care. You talk about education. I'm talking about life. I'm talking about experience. I'm talking about the love and care that I have for others. See, you can be in leadership. You can be an elected official, but if you don't care about the people, you are garbage. I'm telling you that right now. Y'all know I shoot from the hip. You know I shoot from the hip. But if you don't care about the people, you need to be out of there. And I don't care what nobody think about it. So people knew that I was good, but the thing was I stood on my own. I was an independent thinker, and I could not be bullied, okay? I could not be bullied, all right? And I will not apologize for not allowing folks to bully me. I will not apologize. I'm not even built like that. I was an 18-year-old. I was 17 years old when I went into the military. By the time I was 18, 19, 20, by the time I was 20, I was already an E5 sergeant in the military. And then by the time I was 22, I was an E6. You understand? I had people under me that was in their 30s that had to answer to me. And I was just barely 25 years old, if that. And so it was like, how am I going to not get out of that mode of always being a leader and come and let people bully me? I was not built for that. You had to get you somebody else, because love wasn't built for that. And then I went from the military to being a deputy sheriff, police officer qualified, I certified. I had I had a Georgia certification as a peace officer. I could have been a police if I chose to be a police officer. I had the certification. You understand what I'm saying? But I was a deputy. Same certification, same arrest rights and all that stuff, but I could go all over the state of Georgia and outside the state of Georgia and make arrests. That's what y'all don't understand about deputies. We can make an arrest in all of the states as long as it's arranged properly. We can go from state to state to make an arrest, and I prefer to do that. That is why the sheriff is the highest law enforcement officer in this city as well. It's just the boundaries that they set between the police department and the sheriff's department, but the sheriff is the highest because he's elected, and his deputies can do more than what the police can do outside of the city. Okay, and that's why it's always a deputy that or higher that's going to come and get you from another state, and not a police officer. Normally, you don't see police officers going to another state to pick someone up. It's the deputies. Okay, and I was certified. I was certified to fly armed in with the airlines. I had all those certifications. You understand what I'm saying? So you take a person like me that was used to being a leader, and you bring me here, and you tell me I should have got permission to do something, or you tell me that I have to ask to do something? Never. I wasn't built for it, and there's some people that's not built to be told what to do. You understand? And that is some of, my thing, my story. So when y'all hear people talk about love and stuff like that, ask them, do you know her? Because a lot of them don't know me. I love my weapons. I love my weapons so much that when I retired, I didn't buy anymore. I got rid of all of. One of my weapons was stolen. I reported it, so I don't have a problem saying it. One of my weapons was stolen. So when I retired, I stopped carrying my certain type of weapons. Let me put it that way. Because y'all don't know this, but I'm gonna share this with you. I am a martial artist. I'm a black belt, and so I still am skilled in certain weapons. But I stopped carrying certain weapons too because you become dependent on that. Y'all ever seen when people put stuff like when they have a weapon they get big chested? You know what I'm saying? And certain weapons make you big chested and you do stuff that you normally wouldn't do when you didn't have it. And I never wanted to be big chested. So certain weapons I stopped carrying because I didn't want to be big chested. But let me tell you something, I can shoot a fly off of a cow's tail. That's how good of a marksman I was. And I don't even need my glasses to do it. I could shoot because I had technique. So that's enough of that. But any one of y'all want to go shoot with me, we can arrange that, okay? You want to go fire your weapon, we can arrange that. And I can shoot a rifle. I can shoot an automatic. I can shoot now. I'm telling you, be ready. Be ready. But what I'm saying is this, y'all. You have to, there are certain people that you cannot bully. There are certain people that you're not going to be able to get through to, and we have to know when to ignore, okay? We have to know when to let it go, and we have to know when to address it, okay what I'm saying? And when we address it, we do not want to make it worse than it already is. Talk softly. Soft words turns away wrath, but evil words stirs up anger. That's biblical, y'all. We have to do it in a proper manner. We're getting older. There's nobody trying to be out here fighting and breaking bones and stuff like that because you're going to heal slowly. And these young people, y'all know they disrespectful. You know they disrespectful, but when you talk to them the right way, you'll realize that what they're missing is somebody to actually show them something with love and not talk down to them and not disrespect them as a young adult, but somebody that can reach them and say, hey, baby, I've been there. I understand. Let me tell you this. Let me give you a better way. Give solutions when you're talking to these young people. Give them solutions. Let them know, hey, I've been there. I did this and this, and this is how it turned out. Let me suggest this to you, okay? Because they don't respect like we used to respect. But you can still reach them. You can still reach them, okay? So be mindful with your words. Be mindful what you let people get away with. Because most of the time, all it's going to do is build up and build up and build up, and then they're going to embarrass you big time. Y'all know how kids do. You kids, just like a child. You let them get away with something. You get in that grocery store, baby, and you're going to get the embarrassment of your life, and then you want to be beating them in the store. Now, here comes Child Protective Services, because I'm telling you, y'all don't know, law enforcement is in me. I'm going to walk up to you, and I'm going to tell you, hey, stop beating that baby. Stop beating that baby. That's how you know you're going to be getting handcuffed. Because it's a way to beat kids. You can discipline your children, but you're not going to beat no kid hitting them all over the face and the back and chest and stuff like that around me. I don't believe in child abuse. I love the babies and I love old people, okay? So, let me tell y'all this little story, but let you go. I was in Walmart, and the girl was just beating the baby. And it was a black girl. I'm going to tell you how it went. And she was beating the baby. And I looked around, and all the white people was watching. They was heated, right? I walked over there, and I said, who baby is this? Thank you for the stars, honey. I said, who baby is this? And it won't the girl that was beating the baby, it was another girl. And she said, that's my baby. I said, now why would you stand here and let somebody beat your child like that? And she said, that's her godmother. I said, I don't care who it is. Nobody does this. I said, look around. Both of you, look around right now. And they looked around and saw what I saw. I said, now y'all about to go to jail. Y'all about to go to jail. And I turned to that other guy. I said, don't you beat this baby no more. Don't you beat her again, or I'm going to arrest you myself. Put your hands on. Oh, baby, I was so heated. But I didn't have my handcuffs, my bag, or my weapon. You know what I'm saying? I could have held her, but somebody needed to let her know that this is not how you treat kids. Because somebody beat that baby. Somebody beat them like that. And I had to let her know. But had I had my handcuffs and my badge, baby, I would have had to take that girl in. But I believe that it worked. I want to believe that it worked. I was so embarrassed as a black woman. I was so embarrassed. I really was. But I did intervene. And that's what we have to do. A lot of times we don't want to get into stuff because we know these young people are so disrespectful. But listen, it's your position, your job to intervene, to teach them better. Okay? You have to. We have to. You understand? Yeah, they could have jumped me and wanted to fight. You know what I'm saying? They been end up in the frozen food section and whatnot, but they could have. You understand? But you have to do something. You can't just stand around. Listen, God loves you. I love you. Make sure you love yourself and go on and properly love someone else. Till we meet again, that you be tremendously blessed. And just know that you are certainly in my prayers, and I ask you to keep me in yours.